Yo, Slant.
Yeah, but isn't this the unplugged version? I don't know. I think it's the unplugged version.
Alright, Power, let's go.
Hello, everyone out there in YouTube land. This is your t-shirted historian with another 10-minute Mayans. This summary and review will assume that you've been watching this series and are already familiar with the characters. Please be advised that this video will contain heavy spoilers. Episode 3 of Season 1 of Mayans is titled Buho, Muwan. Buho is the Spanish word for owl, and Muwan refers to the owl-shaped glyph in the Mayan Hab calendar. Show opens on Adelita's rebel camp, where she and her aide are discussing their dwindling food supplies, all while being observed by an owl. There is a sudden shift to the inside of a group of black Hummers that are tearing across the desert, revealing Nestor and a group of Galindo cartel enforcers that appear to be headed towards them. Adelita, as if by pure instinct, yells at her people to pack up and run within moments. She is gone as the Hummers arrive. Nestor and his men look through the remains of the camp, finding only a piñata hanging from one of the trees. Tearing it open, he finds a Dios de los Muertos skull with the name Cristobal written on it. Cristobal being the name of Miguel Galindo's kidnapped son. In their new camp, Adelita and the rebels receive a group of Mayans, including EZ, Coco, and Angel. They inform Adelita that they are meeting with the Chinese Triad Society in order to sell the rest of the rebels' stolen drugs. There's a cut to the dress shop, where Miguel Galindo and Devante are meeting with Bishop and Alvarez about securing more drugs for the organization, as well as mentioning that the video Los Olvidados are circulating are making the rest of their crew nervous. Miguel asks the bikers where they are meeting, and Bishop replies, San Buho Casino, referencing again the title of the episode. Nestor arrives and informs Miguel that they were too late, hands him the skull, as well as telling him that there is another video that's been posted. We also find out during this conversation that the stolen shipment actually belonged to the Chinese Triads. There's a great scene between Devante and Alvarez where they discuss the future of the cartel and the bikers' place in it. Tony Plana and Emilio Rivera are really stand out in this scene, and they really show their acting chops. So to me, any scene with Emilio Rivera, he totally steals because he is a great actor. Cut to the Galindo house has Emily watching the video that's just been released by Los Olvidados that shows the burnt remains of the taco truck vendor and his son from the previous episode. She's so upset by this that she hurls the phone down and breaks it. The video cuts to Felipe working in the carniceria. He sees Agent Jimenez and steps out to talk with him, being informed by Jimenez that he now has a 24-hour contact number for EZ to use, as well as being handed a mysterious card that talks about an anniversary. Felipe also spots a suspicious-looking vehicle that's parked across the street. Scene cuts to the Mayans moving through the underground tunnels out of Mexico, and when Angel stops EZ, he reminds him of where his duties lie. EZ reminds Angel that this is the anniversary of the day that their mother was killed. We have a flashback of EZ chasing the killer across a rooftop in a parking lot, only to turn suddenly and shoot at an unknown person.
Welcome to the Latino Slant. Please like and comment, but subscribe to the channel.
There's a scene back at the Galindo house, which cuts to Nestor and his men kicking in the door to a small apartment where a group of Mexican thugs who are cowering for the cartel muscle. The thugs apparently have been shaking down the market square, and they apologize for stepping on Galindo territory. Nestor informs their leader in Spanish, "You live by the gun, you die by the gun." His group rounds up the gang and throws them in the back of the van. Scene shifts to the Mayans riding out across the desert towards the San Buho tribal casino. They arrive at the casino, where they are greeted warmly by the casino owner, who informs them that their room is ready. The Mayans break up to kill some time before their meeting. Angel sneaks out to meet with a Chinese Triad member, Jimmy, who evidently is making a move of his own independently. They agree to terms for Adelita's heroin. Back inside the casino, Coco is using Easy's eidetic memory to count cards at the blackjack table. Angel angrily pulls them off of the table, tells Easy to do something else. Easy hangs out at the bar, talking up the female bartender. When one of the other bar patrons insults him, she informs him that he is one of the local police. Easy is forced to endure the scorn of the off-duty police. As he walks away from their mockery, the rest of the MC witness it. Tita and Emily have a short scene at the Galindo house, with Emily discussing what she should do. There is a cut to the dress shop that has Miguel and Nestor frightening the thug's leader from earlier, using some improvised theatrics. Miguel slices the thug's hand open and smears the blood across his cheek in order to frighten him into working for them as spies. Evidently, they have been impressing several of the local gangs into working for them. An interesting scene takes place at the back of the market square, as Emily and Dita look through the square, wandering through, trying to pick up clues as to where her missing son is. At the same time, Adelita and her rebels are also in the market square. Her little mouse picks up a new member, the other son of the taco truck vendor. Back at the casino, the Mayans meet up with the Chinese triads, as well as the maintenance and supply managers of 26 of the state's prisons, who apparently control all of the drug trade that moves in and out. They reassure them that the future shipments of heroin will be secured. They toast. As they do so, Bishop shoots Jimmy in the back of the head. Afterwards, informing the gang that the triads knew that Jimmy was trying to start his own independent drug group, and that the MC had been hired to kill him, as the triads couldn't do so to their own family. Scene shifts to the carniceria, where late at night, Felipe is pulling out a heavy metal case which contains guns, several case files in the dark. He inspects the load of guns, particularly the sawed-off double-barreled shotgun. Back at the casino, Trank tells EZ that he has unfinished business with the cop who insulted him earlier. He reminds EZ that on tribal lands, cops are not protected by the same laws. EZ confronts the police officer and busts his nose for the earlier disrespect, which gives him a flashback to the same undercover cop that he killed many years ago. The MC pat him on the back and leave the casino, with the honor satisfied. Back at the carniceria, Felipe tricks the driver of the vehicle from earlier out of his car and points the sawed-off shotgun at his face. He questions the man and finds out that he is another DEA agent working for Jimenez, and that he is there to keep an eye on Felipe in case of retaliation by the Galindo cartel. Felipe coldly informs him he doesn't need a babysitter, shotgun still pointed at the agent's face. Later that night, he and EZ share a beer, watch a little bit of television. Once again, J.D. Pardo and James Edward Olmos do a wonderful job of acting off each other. It's a real treat to say that in this series, the acting is very, very top-notch, almost at all times. You've really got a cream of the crop of Hispanic actors on display in this show. Bishop and Alvarez share beers and discuss why Alvarez didn't want Bishop to tell the men about the hit on Jimmy. Alvarez informs them they still don't know who gave the intel to the Samoans of the drug shipment, and he suspects there is still a traitor in the MC. Back at the Los Olvidados camp, we see the new child who's been brought into the fold sitting with the others and eating. As he wipes his hands off, we see that his hand is cut in the same way the thug's hand was cut in the earlier scene with Miguel, meaning that this child is an informant for the cartel. This episode has a lot of jump cutting, and it has a lot of setups for later episodes. story with Easy's arrest and his mother's death is building little by little, as is the relationship between him and the MC. We also see that Felipe is more than just a simple butcher, as his weapons handling and skillful luring and questioning of the DEA agent shows that he is more than he appears. Miguel Galindo also shows his more educated side as he uses a combination of the Boy Scout oath and the Omerta to frighten the local gangs into submitting to his power. That's it for this episode of 10 Minute Mayans. I hope you've enjoyed it, and consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Join me next week on episode 4. Until then, adios, and take care of yourself.
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. The slam.
The slam. Power, let's go.